What's going on YouTube? Kamikazevondoom here with another Division 2 video. Now shout out to the DoD, Disciples of Doom. And today's video is going to be your Manic Mondays episode for October 18th. Hope everyone had a great weekend, but it is Monday, so let's talk about it. Now I am doing a little overview for today. So Manic Mondays is usually about myself, what's going on with me the past week, what's going on with me this coming week, and then I usually talk about, things revolving other content creators and streamers within the Division universe, and then finally I'll talk about, either new content, patches, updates, dev reports, anything on the developer side of the Division universe as well. So if that sounds good, don't forget, hit that thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, and let me know what you think in the comment section below. Now, first and foremost, we start off with what's new with me, and then we'll start getting into the juicy stuff. And man, do we have some juicy stuff. Alright, so what's going on with me? I am still playing Far Cry 6. I am about 85 or 86% done with the game. So I'll do maybe 1 or 2 more streams of Far Cry 6. And then that's pretty much it for the live streams until the season pass goes into effect. And once we get, the additional content and new game modes. Now, I will be doing content for Far Cry 6, so tips and tricks, build videos, where to find gear sets, best and worst weapons, etc., etc. So if you are one of those fans of the Far Cry franchise, then you're in luck, because we're going to be doing a lot of Far Cry content as well. Now, I did not forget about you in the Alien Fireteam Elite community. Now, I did postpone, streams and videos on Alien Fireteam, just because of what was going on with the Division, this whole PlayStation expansion, and, going into Far Cry 6 and other Ubisoft games that I can't talk about right now. Now, as far as Alien Fireteam Elite, I will be doing build videos. I will be doing other videos on Fireteam Elite. And a lot of it is just going to wait until the next episode of the Season Pass goes into effect. Once that happens, it'll get a lot of players back into the game, including myself. Because I am completely done with the game right now. I have all the characters, all the weapons, all maxed out. And, yeah, it's fun. I really do enjoy Aliens Fireteam Elite. However, there is, that end of content. Once you finish it, that's pretty much it. Very linear. Now, whenever they come out with a new episode of their Season Pass, I will bring out all of those build videos and all of those tips and tricks, probably for a week or so, just while we are getting hyped for that additional content. So don't worry about Aliens Fireteam Elite. I do have content. It is sitting there on the back burner, but it will be released in the future. Alright, so we've talked about Far Cry, we've talked about Aliens Fireteam Elite. Now, we need to talk about Ubisoft. So, obviously, a lot of you know that I had the early access to Far Cry 6, and the only thing I can say is that that is not my only game I'm going to get early access to, and I'll be able to show you guys. There's going to be several games in the future. So if you enjoy, these early access streams, these special, video events about all of these upcoming titles, then you're in luck, because I will be doing a whole lot more videos with some early access and special events. So stay tuned for that. Alright, so that is all of the other category. So let's talk about the Division 2. Alright, so this past week, I was lucky enough to get a PlayStation 5. Therefore, you already know, I'm on PlayStation playing Division 2. It took about probably about 3 hours to get my character to level 40. Now, obviously, that is with a level 30 boost, and then just having a squad to run you through New York. Fairly simple, does not take that long. Now, we did manage to get a DoD raid for PlayStation. I was only level 20. I'm pretty sure it's a world record. So if you care to prove me wrong, please, by all means, hit me up either on here, Discord, or Twitter. But I had only 6.5 hours total in the Division 2 on PlayStation when we did that raid. And I ended the raid level 20 with the Eagle Bearer and a raid completion with the clan. So shout out to the DoD, Disciples of Doom on PlayStation, my buddy Hoot over there, just a whole lot of good guys. Now, as far as Xbox, we are doing more Iron Horse raids for Xbox. So in the future, I'm not saying like tomorrow, but in the future we will be doing raid carries for both Dark Hours and Iron Horse for Xbox. But I am also trying to get my character, squared away. I need like a couple more pieces. My character on PlayStation is only like level 30, so it's going to take, a second for me to find those pieces. Hopefully RNG graces me with the right pieces, and if that is the case, we will be able to do Dark Hours raid carries on PlayStation and Xbox. So that's going to be really cool. This whole, expanding over to PlayStation is a huge thing for me, because now not only can I help people on Xbox, I can help people on all consoles, both Xbox and PlayStation. Now, we all know PC is a different game. They're, those systems cost thousands of dollars. I mean, if you look at some of these builds out there for their PCs, it's amazing. Truly is. For me personally, I don't have that kind of bankroll, being, a dad, husband, mortgage, and all this stuff, bills, just being an adult. And not only that, but we're about to have another kid next month. I don't have money for a PC. Now, consoles, it's a few $100 here, a few $100 there, and then you're good for a few years. Where PlayStation, with PC, it's kind of, you put a lot of money into it, and a few years later, you have to completely, replace it. And not only that, but, it's up to like thousands of dollars. Where an Xbox, PlayStation, whatever, maybe $100 here, $100 there, and you're good for several years. So, long story short, PlayStation expansion went good. I already have the Eagle Bearer, so I can start to do raid carries on PlayStation and get other people the Eagle Bearer, so that's going to be really good. I only need like 1 or 2 more pieces for my raid build for PlayStation, and then we'll start doing Dark Hours raid carries there. Now, as far as Xbox, we are nearly fine-tuned for Iron Horse, so stay tuned for that. But we will be doing raid carries on Xbox for both Dark Hours and Iron Horse. Alright. Now, let me think. What else is going on? So on PlayStation, I'm starting to get into Conflict over there. So you might see me playing solo in Conflict. Remember, I'm only shade level 30. So, obviously, you should be able to have your way. But the reason I am doing Conflict on PlayStation now is I have to get my outfit. This outfit is not easy to get. It might look like you could just copy and paste this outfit, but it's not. The pants and shoes can only be done in Conflict. So you have to level up a Conflict character just to get half of this outfit. And on PlayStation, I look kind of weird with like different boots and pants, so it's not like old boots and pants. Anyways, alright. But the whole thing is I'm going on PlayStation. I don't want to look all, janky over there. I want to kind of keep everything uniform. So I'm going to start to level up my Conflict character over there. Even though I know my shade level's low, but it should be fun. I thoroughly enjoy conflict. I have been getting nothing but love from you guys on PlayStation, so thank you so much for that. If you did not already add me, my PlayStation network ID is my name, Kamikazevondoom. So you can look me up, shoot me an ad, and yeah, we are still filling up the DoD clan for PlayStation. So if you are, an adult, an active agent, and you're really not that toxic, then you are eligible to join DoD. Now, you can message me on PlayStation, but make sure you add me, and then explain, hey, I saw your video and this, and I'm not a minor, I'm active, and I'm not toxic. And then I'll say, yeah, man, jump into the party, we'll talk, and get you into the DoD. Now, once slots fill up, and they do fill up fast, so just for now, when slots do fill up for DoD on PlayStation and Xbox, I will let you know, and I will keep your name in my message board, so that whenever we do have an opening, I could shoot a message out to, however many people, and it's kind of like a first come, first serve situation, where if I send out, 5 invites, I might only have 3 slots. So the first 3 people to reply and talk to me, they'll get a slot into DoD. And that goes for Xbox and PlayStation. I usually try to talk to each and every member. That way I get to know them, they get to know me, and yeah, try to build the community as a whole. Now, as far as my points of contact for the DoD, we have CC Ball for Xbox, and we have Hoot 7 on PlayStation. These are my points of contact, so if you do see them and I am not online, they're usually the middleman. They can get a hold of me pretty quick, and yeah, good people overall. Let's see, so that is everything with me. I kind of took quite a bit of time to talk about it because these are important things revolving the channel. Now, as far as other creators, ooh, nice little RC car there. Here, hold on. Let me get rid of this open world boss real quick. Oh, snap. What? They wouldn't even let me pop a med kit. Jesus. Alright, anyways. I was getting carried away there anyways. Alright. So we are done talking about myself and all that for Manic Mondays, so now we're on to our next topic. And that's going to be other creators. Now, typically what I would do is I would start explaining, somebody's channel. Maybe they made a video on this, maybe they made a video on that. See what figureheads within our community are doing, and explain them to you guys. I mean, I know very well that some of you that watch my videos don't watch other people's videos, and some people that watch their videos might certainly not watch my videos. I get it. Now, as far as me name dropping, quote unquote, and trying to, give you guys knowledge of what's going on within the community, I have lately been told probably should just keep them under wraps. So what I'm going to do without, name dropping is I'll just give you guys my 2 cents on topics that maybe other creators have brought up in the past week or so. And I'll give you my 2 cents on it. Because there is a lot of bullshit that these creators are dropping here recently, and it makes my head want to explode. But out of the goodness of the community, I'm not going to do any more name drops. So you can use your vices and figure out who they are yourselves. But as far as that goes, let's drop into our next category, which is what's going on with other creators within the Division universe this past week and maybe this coming week. Alright, So one of the topics that got passed around was another speculation that developers, development teams, companies do not have resources and have not properly planned out how to develop video games, even though they are a video game development company. This makes my head want to blow up. We've heard this time and time again. It's a broken record, and it's been proven wrong every single time. Alright, so here we go. Does anyone remember this? Oh, guys, year two's not going to happen. They don't even have enough people doing updates right now. So how are they going to have enough devs to give us a year two? And then all of a sudden we heard about Warlords of New York a month out, and then we got Warlords of New York. Okay. And then, right after that, we heard, hey guys, all the developers left because of Warlords of New York. How are they possibly going to do any other content at all? And then we got Seasons. Yeah. So there was that. And then we had, a pretty valid one where it was like, all these guys are moving on to different things. Why would they possibly give us more content? They're not going to do anything with this game. This game is dead, right? And then all of a sudden we get news that not only are we going to get new manhunts, we're also going to get new gear sets, we're also going to get new exotics. We are getting a all new game mode that's never been seen in the Division universe, etc., etc. Not to mention the whispers of a balancing patch. They've been public about talking about quality of life changes and all of this jazz, right? That sounds pretty familiar, right? More speculations that were proved wrong. Well, here's another one. How can Ubisoft Bucharest make a new game mode for the Division 2 if they spent 3 years working on a different game? Right? This is the dumbest speculation I've ever heard in my life. It makes no sense. Because a development team plans out what they're developing, it kind of goes through these different stages and then they move on to a different project. And then, they'll leave around, X amount of developers to do, if it's a live service, do updates and bug, troubleshooting. And then they'll also have, some other developers that will, either promote, do some public relations, do some community involvement, things like that to continue the hype while the other developers work on the next project that is not ever publicly announced really until they hit a certain point. So this is another speculation that I want you guys to just let it just go in one ear and out the other, because this is just purely to fearmonger. It's purely to build doubt on development teams, and this is doing nothing but hurt the community as a whole. We have developers that are working on a lot of stuff that they cannot publicly talk about. Not only that, but their PR team and their marketing teams don't talk about it for a reason until X date. Therefore, when X date hits and they say something, you get a lot of people that are skeptical and they're like, how could they do that? How could they do this? And in reality, they have already been doing it behind the curtain, and they have already planned it all out. Where you have a lot of these content creators that apparently can't fathom the thought of running a business because they constantly are making these videos speculating that these companies that are huge, worth however much amount of money, doing whatever with thousands of employees, they can't possibly plan out how to develop a game and release it to the public with the amount of staff that they have. Now, I'm about sick and tired of these videos. A lot of it, they get me with the thumbnails because I'm like, oh, what are they talking about? And I click on it, and then I listen to all this crap just rolling out of their mouths. Development teams have the resources. They don't accept the projects unless the people in place know that they can do the projects. Now, things like Cyberpunk and, other games like that, those were shortcuts that they took to try to cater to a certain audience. And then when it was released, obviously the people with the old generation consoles really got screwed out of that, so much so that the game got pulled and, the development team and everyone was just, crapped on. Understandable. These games right here, comparing a free-to-play game, which is usually a lot easier in a development process than a full-on game, mind you. If they worked on that for 3 years, and we are just now hearing about it coming out, playtesting, and getting released, it sounds to me like they're already done with the game. So why would it be in question that the Division 2 is getting additional content when the developers are already working on the additional content? This is just like the dumbest, like really biased, like speculation I've heard. Obviously, the content is coming. The new game mode is coming. We are also getting Division Heartland, guaranteed. We are also getting those other free-to-play games. I don't care to promote those other free-to-play games because to me, they are not what is within the Division universe. Whereas Division Heartland and this additional Division 2 content plays right into my playbook. I love it. I cannot wait for Division Heartland to drop. I personally don't know anything about the Division 2 content coming out. Obviously, we've all heard about the quality of life changes. We've all heard about the PvP balancing. And we've all heard that we are getting new manhunts with new gear sets, new exotics, and new weapons. Now, oh yeah, don't forget about the apparel events. Jesus. Now, the part of that was just to talk about these speculation videos that are making my mind blow. I kind of took the longer route to explain the entire situation, and that way you know that these speculation videos are full of crap. Now, just remember, these development teams are huge, and they are vast. The only thing you guys are seeing are those that want you to see them publicly. There are thousands upon thousands of developers that are not in the public light for a reason. They don't want to be, they don't need to be, and the company doesn't want them to be either. Now, the ones that you see, the handful here, the handful there, those are the ones that want to be seen publicly. The company wants them to be seen publicly, and it helps out the game for them being seen publicly. Yannick is case in point. He is the public figurehead right now when it comes to Division 2 news, and they want him to be that figurehead. He has shown them for years on State of the Game that he can shut his mouth if he needs to. He can say, only what he can, and he knows, that there's a bigger picture. He knows that, hey, I can't say this because of this. And obviously, us as the consumer, we're looking for those people that, we can rile up on the internet and get them to spill the beans. Where the companies, obviously, especially the PR department, they do not want those kind of people out in the public at all. So a lot of times when they usually get moved to a different department. They get moved here, moved there, and then it completely kills that connection of, any sort of potential leaks. All right. So that's killing that dead, horse over there. Now, moving on to the next topic that I've heard from multiple content creators is, I need to show you on my other character, is classified sets. I've seen about 4 or 5 videos now about classified sets and how they would, work in the Division 2, why they should work in the Division 2, and why we need them in the Division 2. And I'm going to sit here and be devil's advocate, and I'm going to show you exactly why we should not get classified gear and why we will not get classified gear. Alright, so this is my second character. This is kind of like a mule character. I keep all my exotics and my, gear set items on here. Alright, so let's just look through these gear sets, and we'll explain exactly why classified gear sets are not coming to the game, and why it would also be a bad idea for the game. Okay. Now, as far as a little history lesson for gear sets and classified sets, in the Division 1 we had gear sets where you put 4 pieces on, and you would get, certain attributes, certain talents. Same with this game right here. You can see on the right side of the screen the gear set and then all that grayed out area. Obviously, if I put on 2 pieces, 3 pieces, and then finally 4 pieces, and I get a talent. Now, what they did in the first game is they added a classified set. This was your gear set, but they had a little icon on there, and those with that little icon were able to be a part of a 6-piece gear set. Now, what that would do, you would get the same thing for the first 4, but then the 5th and the 6th piece would give you additional stuff on top of your original gear set. For example, in the Division 1, a striker would do what it does now, where you shoot at a target and you get stacks, you get more weapon damage. Well, in Division 1, what they did is they added classified sets, and then all of a sudden, striker, you could shoot a target, it would build stacks up, give you weapon damage, but it would also build stacks up and give you healing at the exact same time. Now, in Division 1, when that came out, it was really overpowered and broken, and they even nerfed it before it even went into the game. And then, even doing so, they nerfed it again once it was released into the public, because it was so overpowered. Now, think of that for the Division 2, right? And I'm going to give you a few examples. One being Eclipse Protocol. Okay. So Eclipse Protocol, you have a 4-piece set, but what they did for Division 2, unlike Division 1, is your backpack and your chest piece get an additional talent each that amplify the bonuses for that gear set. So for example, looking at this Eclipse Protocol backpack, now it comes with the talent Symptom Aggravator. It amplifies all damage you deal to status affected targets by 30%. Now that's amplified, multiplicative, and there is no cooldown. There's nothing on here. All it does is you need the 4-piece, and the target has to be status affected, and as long as that happens, you get the amp damage, all damage you deal. So that includes skills, weapons, statuses, you name it. Now, I'm showing you this because if we go to the Eclipse Protocol chest piece, let's see. Oh, do I not even have one on here? Oh my gosh. Now, the Eclipse Protocol chest piece gives you distance on that talent. Alright. Doo-doo-boo, doo-doo-boo, right here. Now, if I just craft one of these bad boys and show you, it comes with the talent proliferation. Now this increases that range from 10 meters to 15, and it refreshes the percentages from 50 to 75. Okay, so now on kill, any enemy within 15 meters will get a 75% duration on that status that the previous person died from. Not only that, but with the backpack that I have, Knowing all of that, now I also get 30% amplified damage to that target. And I haven't even shot one thing at that target. That's just from the Eclipse Protocol proccing. Okay? So this makes Eclipse Protocol a very, very strong gear set. Now, obviously, if you pair this up with, say the Vile Mask or BTSU gloves, where you could overcharge or you could, gain more damage on status affected targets, or even if you ran this with a glass cannon chest piece, you would be able to do so much damage. In fact, a huge percentage of the PvP community hates status effects builds for this reason exactly. Now, this backpack is so overpowered that they did have to nerf it. Not only that, but they did have to make that requirement for the 4-piece because for some reason their backpack talents did not have requirements, and a lot of people were using this backpack just for the amplified damage. So showing this, thinking about a 6-piece, a 5-piece and a 6-piece on top of this Eclipse Protocol set, what would they do to make this any better? Looking at this, you already get skill haste, hazard, and status effects. So if they made a 6-piece classified set of Eclipse Protocol, what would they do? Would they add more status effects? Would they add more skill haste? Or would they add more indirect transmissions? Maybe even like a creeping death, where when it applies to that person, maybe it'll spread, and then the indirect transmission is upon death. That way you could just run all Eclipse Protocol and not even have to put on creeping death. I mean, there's that, but what does that tell you? That tells you that this set would be so overpowered that it would need a complete rework, or this would end up being one of the most toxic metas in the game, right? Let's show you another example on how and why we're not going to get classified sets. Okay, what about Hunter's Fury? Now, Hunter's Fury, the backpack talent that you get, it increases the radius of disoriented players on kill from 5 meters to 10 meters, right? And then if we go to the chest piece for the Hunter's Fury, it now increases the duration of those stacks from 10 seconds to 30 seconds. So we have a higher duration. We get more disoriented of a radius on kill, and all of the attributes and bonuses you get from this gear set are armor on kill, health on kill, shotgun damage, SMG damage. Okay. And with that Apex Predator talent that you get from the 4-piece, you get all this amplified damage, including all the amplified damage you get with those disorient enemies that you kill. Now, just with the set as it is right now, Hunter's Fury can get you up to 45% amplified damage. Thinking of it that way, having a 5th and or 6th piece for Hunter's Fury for a classified set, how would you increase the Hunter's Fury? Would you give yourself more shotgun and SMG damage? Would you give yourself more amplified damage? Would you give yourself more armor on kill and health on kill? You can't, because it's already 100% health on kill. Now, just looking at it that way, would you say that the Hunter's Fury would probably be one of the top DPS metas in the game if they came out with a classified set? I would say so. So that's a skill example I've shown you and a damage set that I've shown you. Now let's talk about maybe a tank set. Oh look, we have Foundry Borg. Now the Foundry Borg gives you total armor, armor regen, shield health, and then that 4-piece gives you regenerative health and armor as you are fighting. Not only that, but the chest piece and the backpack help out that talent as well. So, for example, the chest piece, it increases the repairs from 20% to 30%. So now, every time I get any damage at me, I get 30% of that armor amount back in 15 seconds. 30%. That's insane. Well, what about the backpack from the Foundry Bulwark? So the Foundry Bulwark backpack reduces that time from 15 seconds to 10 seconds. So now you only have to get any sort of damage to you or your shield. You get a third of that damage back in 10 seconds. On top of the total armor, the armor regen, and the extra shield health. So now you're just repairing yourself both from the talent and from the armor regen itself. Now, thinking of it that way, what would a 5th or 6th piece do to this Foundry Bulwark set? Would we get even more armor? Would we get even more armor regen and shield health? Would we get a higher health back from the Foundry Bulwark talent? I mean, this just bleeds out tank meta written all over it if they made a classified set. The first thing I would do is I'd go for Eclipse Protocol. I would have the most toxic status effects classified set. You would go with Hunter's Fury for all of that crazy damage, not only to SMGs but shotguns. And then if you wanted to be tanky, you'd put on a classified set of Foundry Bulwark, and no one would ever kill you ever because it's already overpowered. So, I mean, this is an example of each different type of build on why we shouldn't and we're not going to get classified sets, because all of these sets in one way or another would be overpowered, and we would just all run classified sets till the end of time. Now let's kind of pivot there. They are coming out, and they've already said that they are coming out with new exotics, they are coming out with new gear sets, and they are coming out with new weapons for these manhunts. Now that right there shows you that they are not going to give us classified sets, they are just going to give us more sets. Now what this does, unlike the Division 1, is this gives us more build diversity, because we're getting more sets that give us more variety, more combinations to make our builds. Where in the Division 1, if I go there right now, it would be every single loadout is a gear set, a full gear set, or half of 2 gear sets. It's not really a build diversity or variety, if you will, in Division 1, especially when they added the classified sets, because a lot of the overpowered sets are the classified sets. Now, mind you, I do run Banshee with Savage, but that's 5 pieces of Banshee, and it's because it's overpowered. Now, what that would do in the Division 2 is that would kill the build diversity, and it would make all of those gear sets overpowered completely, making the entire game unbalanceable, if that's a word. Is that a word? Unbalanceable? It couldn't be balanced, because if you made all of these gear sets classified, they would all become way too overpowered. I mean, Negotiator's Dilemma alone, you can get 200% crit damage and do 100% damage on each of the marked targets at the same time. And you want to get a classified set of that, it would make it even crazier. Just imagine what that would do for PvP. It would destroy PvP, and it would destroy build diversity within this game. So I've given you reasons, not only showing you sets on why it would make certain gear sets overpowered and they wouldn't do it that way. I've shown you evidence of the developers stating that they're just going to give us more gear, more exotics, more weapons to increase build diversity, rather than invest into these already overpowered gear sets. And I am also showing you how, just overall logically, that wouldn't make any sense when coming to just build diversity for this game. It would pretty much kill it. Now, as far as the fun factor, yes, it would be really fun to see classified sets in this game. I mean, man, just thinking about future initiative a classified set, you're already doing more damage and doing insane healing. It would make you unstoppable. I mean, I don't know. Aces and eights classified? That would sound dirty, man. I don't know. Now, as far as the fun factor, yeah, that would be really fun to see those in the game. It's a fun little discussion. But in reality and logically, no. It's never going to happen. There's evidence showing it's not going to happen. So, yeah. Just pretending that it might happen is just a fool's errand, in my opinion. Alright. So that is what other content creators have been talking about the last week. And I hope I have thoroughly explained my 2 cents on it. Now, the last part is usually saved for the devs, news updates, anything like that. Now, within the last week, yes, we did have that 15, tweet long message from Manic, but we also had him reply to a few people within those threads. And what we have learned is that the Division 2 content is still on track for the end of this year, meaning December. And there's nothing really stopping them at this point. Everything's ready to be, released at that time. Now, we did learn that Ubisoft, I guess, is looking for a replacement for Hamish. So if anyone is interested in replacing Hamish for that comm dev position and work state of the game, you're welcome to apply. They still have that job listing. You can see it on my Twitter page, and you can see it on Yannick's Twitter page because he's the one that's tweeted it twice now. But I will tell you the one caveat is that the position is in Sweden. So you would have to be in Sweden to take this job. Let's see, what else is going on with the devs? We still have not heard anything from Red Storm. However, there are huge rumblings and confirmations that the playtests are still happening the last week of October. So what does this mean for Heartland? I don't know. Terry Spire has already made it abundantly clear that he's not going to say anything until his marketing people tell him to. That don't expect, him to reveal anything until he gets the green light. So as far as asking them questions, it's getting slim because the timeline is getting so much shorter. We are getting these things in the near future relatively fast, especially with the Division 2 content. I mean, that's within, 6 weeks or so of dropping. So we're going to need to look out for that. And then obviously I am super excited for Division Heartland. I think it's going to be an amazing addition to this little community we have here. But alright, let me think. Anything else as far as developers? I think that's it. We haven't heard anything as far as a timeline for Division 2 or Heartland. Yeah, and I'm pretty sure if you enjoyed the Frontline free-to-play, they are doing play tests for that, but I do think they were delayed. I'm not sure. As far as Frontline and X Defiant, I will not be playing them when they release. I did get to play playtest X Defiant. That's all I'm allowed to say about it. And I am not going to playtest Frontline. Even if they ask me, I'm not going to. I'm not interested in either one of those. The free-to-play game I am interested in personally is Heartland. So, Red Storm, Terry, what up? We're about to have fun in Heartland. I can't wait. But yeah, so we'll stay tuned for those. And I think that is pretty much it. Nice little Manic Mondays episode for you. Today is October 18th. I hope you have enjoyed it. Don't forget to comment down below what your thoughts are about everything I talked about. I think I did a few little deep dives in there for you. and we should have great discussions about them. But shout out to the DoD Disciples of Doom, both on Xbox and PlayStation. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next one. I think I will do maybe a Far Cry stream later, or something like that. I'm about done with that game, and then I can just do some videos on it, and then get ready for the next game. But alright everyone, Kamikazevondoom, hope you've enjoyed it. Don't forget, hit that like, subscribe to the channel. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.